How do we know?
And then it'll say live like, oh, we're live. What's up, everybody?
Just like that.
Just like that. And we're officially live. How are you guys all doing today? I'm here today with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Trey Luellen.
What's up, guys? How are you?
So Trey's not hanging out for the whole live stream. He's just in office today. And I was like, I'm going live. You want to jump in here? And he's like, to talk about what? And he doesn't even know, but I wanted to share something with you guys. And then we got Lindsey Stirling's hanging out with us today. Kind of. You guys have a chance to hang out with Lindsey Stirling, which would be good, and a bunch of other things. But for those who are new to the ClickFunnels world, or those who are old school ClickFunnels people, either way, you need to know about Trey. So I'm going to tell a story about this. This is one of my favorite stories. So we just launched ClickFunnels. You joined Inner Circle like right after. I think we just launched ClickFunnels, right?
A year after I joined ClickFunnels.
Okay.
But I didn't know I was like user number 3 of ClickFunnels. Like that was beyond me. Like I was referred to ClickFunnels. There was this lady, Kim Doyle. She's like, hey, you need to learn about ClickFunnels. I was like, oh, what's that? She's like, oh, Russell Brunson's doing it. I was like, I don't even know what that is. And so I clicked into ClickFunnels. It looked really cool. I created a username. Started my way. Like that was it. Like I didn't realize all this.
You were
was
the
new.
first one.
I didn't know I was the first. I had no idea. And then here we are. Here we are today. Pretty crazy.
So this is what's crazy. So again, most of the stuff I sell is like the expert, like info product business. Trey's all e-com. And in fact, he's here today in the office filming a new One Funnel Away challenge specifically for people who want to know about e-commerce. How many of you guys are interested in that?
Make money.
If you want to know e-commerce, I don't even know much about e-commerce, but some of Trey's offers are crazy. He had like a butter, what's
The Better Butter Spreader.
The Better Butter Spreader.
Better Butter Spreader.
The survival flashlight. What's that one called?
Oh, the G700.
G700. Which is probably the most knocked off offer in the history of all time now.
Oh yeah, that's good times.
What are other ones like?
We got Solar Bright Floodlight.
Solar Bright.
Yeah.
Do you alliteration on all the names?
Yeah, we tried to.
Solar Bright Floodlight.
The Solar Bright Floodlight. That's a good one.
Okay, so here's the story. This is one of my favorite ClickFunnels stories of all time. So we're at launch ClickFunnels. We're excited. We're getting members signing up, and then we can see in the back office how much money people are making. And it's kind of going slow for the first 3 or 4 months, and all of a sudden, like overnight, starts spiking, and like our members are killing it. They're making like 20, 30, 40 grand a day, and it's like these spikes are happening, and I start freaking out. I remember going on, I think it was Periscope at the time, and I was like, well, it's everybody like you guys as ClickFunnels community are killing it, like having so much success. And I showed the screen graphs. It was like show like 20, 30, 40 grand a day. There's like this stuff happening, and like it's kind of one of those funny things where I didn't know what was happening. All I knew was like I was so excited, and it gave me so much belief. I was like, our members are killing it, like, and so I like doubled down on it. I started creating more training and more stuff, and just I got so excited. And then like I don't know, 6 months or a year later,
About a year later,
Trey's like, I saw your thing. And he was like, it's funny because if you look at my Stripe account, it was doing the exact same thing, the same numbers. And what I didn't realize is that basically almost like probably 95% of all the volume on ClickFunnels was coming from one funnel that you were running that just blown up. And it was I think the fastest funnel at the time to 2 Comma Club, fastest funnel to 2 Comma Club X. I don't know how far that one ended up going, but it was insane.
we did $30 million in 2.5 months. That's what we did with ClickFunnels, and we're user number 3. Like I'm just over here doing what Russell said. He goes, you need to go build a funnel a week, and that's what I did. I built a funnel a week until I got one that was a success, and then it just exploded, like absolutely exploded. It was great.
It's crazy. And since then, he's launched like 1,000 e-commerce products, and it's cool because he doesn't do it like e-com like. Here's a big e-com store, like Shopify store. It's like e-com hardcore funnels, and that's what he's in the other room right now filming a whole one funnel away for e-com funnels. So, if you guys want to learn e-com stuff, it's coming soon to a funnel near you.
Funnel New Year, let's go. We're gonna change people's lives, man. We're gonna change people's lives. We're gonna build a foundation, show them how to build products, how to find products, how to validate those products. Then we're gonna show you how to build a funnel that converts, and then you got one traffic source to go in. I don't know how much you want me to tell them, but one traffic source to scale those products just like we're doing. So basically, I'm giving you our playbook, if you will, on how to build a business selling e-com. Yeah, like that's what it is, man.
It's been fun to watch him because he's had like winner after winner after winner after winner after winner, and I'm sure the same way. The first time like it takes you a long time, but eventually you're like, at least for me, I'm sure the same to you. Like which ones are gonna hit, and you just are pretty successful every time now. And so what's cool is like in the training that Trey's filming in the other office, or in the office, other room over here, he'll show you guys exactly how to make sure you pick the right product the first time and all sorts of stuff. And anyway, it's gonna be amazing. So Scott's like, where do I sign up? Madison, sign me up. Yeah. Well, the good news is if you're a ClickFunnels member, you're gonna have access to it here soon. So make sure you're a ClickFunnels member, number 1, and number 2, we're working on it. I'm hoping. Well, we'll see. Video editors and stuff, but hopefully beginning of May we'll have it rolling out to you guys. So that's my goal. So
nice.
And then the next game plan is having Trey. Did we talk about this yet? You're gonna be doing live trainings for all ClickFunnels members.
Well, here's the thing: is like there's training, and I think people can learn from training, but there's still hiccups, right? There's still roadblocks. There's still things that you're going to come up against, and you have no idea how to overcome that. And so then people get stuck, and then they go do something else, right? That's another shiny object, if you will. So we're actually going to make sure that doesn't happen. We're going to come in, we're going to coach you, we're going to guide you, we're going to have live calls with you guys that answers your questions, that help you combat those roadblocks. Make sure there is no things left unturned. If you got questions, you get on the call. We're doing that weekly, and know how to grow e-com. Like it's not just you anymore. It's us. Like we get to grow together, and I think that's pretty cool.
It's so fun. We're gonna be tag teaming. So there's gonna be those guys e-com. Trey's gonna jump on once a week with you guys, answering questions. For anyone expert business, I'm gonna be jumping on, and we're gonna be tag teaming and trying to one up each other. I'm gonna see if we can make more money on the expert side, e-com side. We'll find out who's gonna be the best. But anyway, so this is just a pleasant surprise. We're not planning this. I just wanted to introduce you guys to Trey. If you don't know him yet, he's amazing, and he's creating some cool stuff for you guys right now. So
yes,
anyway,
sir. Yes,
thanks,
sir.
Man. Appreciate you.
See you guys.
Go finish the training. Get back to work. All right, guys. I got some fun stuff to share with you guys today. Was that awesome? Like seeing Trey and meeting him, and like his funnels are legendary. You guys are gonna die when you see him. They're so simple. And now that he's out of their office, his funnels aren't complex either. They're not like beautifully designed and everything. Not like tons of copy. They're simple. They're powerful. And he's like, you watch him like 2 comma clip, 2 comma clip, 2 comma. It's just like clockwork now. And he's gonna show you guys the exact same process, which I'm fired up about. My kids are pumped. My kids like don't want to be seen on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. And so they're more excited about the e-commerce stuff that's coming. So it's gonna be really, really cool. So yeah, and the coolest thing about this, you guys, is this is not like some like $10,000 training program or anything else. Literally, we are trying to just serve everyone who's going all in ClickFunnels with us. So if you're a ClickFunnels member, everything Trey's creating right now, everything I'm training next week, all stuff will be for you guys free as active ClickFunnels members. So is it okay if we over deliver? You guys cool with that? You guys cool with that? Okay, real quick, we got a special guest, Lindsey Stirling, coming on here today in a second. But I have a quote I want to read, and the quote is from the book right here. These are all my books. You can see it. I have to grab it, so give me 3 seconds to grab the book, but I'm not leaving, so do not leave real quick. I'm just grabbing it. Okay, so for those who are new to my world, this is my life work. This is everything I know in the world right here in my 3 books. And you're like, Russell, that's 4 books. Unlock the Secrets is the workbook. But these are my 3 books: .com Secrets, Expert Secrets, Traffic Secrets. And they are, anyway, I'm proud of them. But I want to share a quote from you guys from the Traffic Secrets. And I was going to get this ahead of time, but then Trey showed up. I got all excited. I forgot what I was doing. And so I'm going to find this while we're doing it. But as you noticed when I started this live, the title of it was, You're Not Good Enough Yet. Okay? And I wanted to, in fact, when I show the Lindsey Stirling clip, I'll find the quote and I'll read it when I come back. But this is something that for any of you guys who are trying to get into this business, right? You are a creator, you're an entrepreneur, you're an expert, like whatever you want to call yourself, an influencer, whatever it is, right? And you know, like I've been called to change people's lives, right? And you go out there and you're like, hey, I'm gonna do this. I'm excited. Russell told me I can do it, that I'm worthy, that I'm ready. Like, you know, you get all excited, but then like all of a sudden resistance hits you and the negative things start talking in your head. Like, oh, who am I to do this? Like, you know, I'm not good enough. I'm not, like all the things that will come flushing into your head, right? And a big part of it. And I'm curious, and I want you guys to be vulnerable and honest. How many of you guys, like, when you think about that, like, I'm supposed to go out there and serve people and go live and teach people stuff and, like, help them. You're like, I don't know if I'm good enough. I'm curious, like, and be honest. Like, please tell me if you feel that way ever. It doesn't have to be all the time, but if you feel like, I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm worthy. I don't know if, like, people are going to listen to me. I don't know if they're going to make fun of me. I'm curious, like, message that. Yeah. Okay. A lot of you guys are saying that, which is, and just in like full transparency, maybe this will help some of you guys. I feel the same way more often than not. So that's the first thing to note. And I've been doing this now for 2 decades. So part of me, people always ask me, Russell, when do you, like, how long until you got really, really confident? I was like, well, I will let you know as soon as I feel that way. I still get nervous. I got nervous today before I come on. Like, man, I'm going to be jumping on and hopefully a bunch of people are going to show up and I don't know if they're going to like me or not like me. I talk too fast, like, blah, like all these things, right? And so the thing is like, I'm not good enough. And that thing keeps, that recurring statement for a lot of us comes up in our head over and over and over again, especially if you're like going to be putting yourself out there. And it's scary, right? And so I wanted to address that today. And I remember thinking, I was like, what's a time that we've shared this with our ClickFunnels Funnel Hacker community? And when was some like a clip or a presentation or something that I can give you guys to really just kind of like give you the shift in mindset that you're looking for. And I also remembered Funnel Hacking Live a couple years ago. We did something different. You know, typically at Funnel Hacking Live, at the end of it, we have a big keynote presentation. Like a lot of times it's Tony Robbins or it's Marcus Lemonis or some like amazing person. And one year we thought, instead of doing like a big person, like let's do a concert. Let's do something like to end the event in a crazy way. How many of you guys, by the way, have been to Funnel Hacking Live and experienced it? We actually last year did a concert where we had Andy Grammer come last year. It was crazy. Like Andy Grammer, I've always loved him as a musician, but as a human being, he is so cool. And he the last 2 hours of Funnel Hacking Live was a rock concert. We're dancing, we're screaming. Like at first, like we had all these chairs. By the time it was done, the chairs been cleared out. We're like mosh pitting down the way, these like glow sticks, and like it was chaos. It was so much fun, and then all his songs were like so powerful. Like he wrote them from like a personal development standpoint. Like, it was amazing. In fact, a lot of people were like Funnel Hacking Live, like Andy Grammer became like the soundtrack for my life over the next 6 months of my life. But anyway, the first time we ever did a concert was Lindsey Stirling. We had her come out there, and I wanted her to come for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's like she's one of us. She's like she got her start on YouTube, and she was on America's Got Talent, and like she's just like all of us, putting her art out there and trying to create and trying to get people to follow her and stuff like that. And so I wanted her to perform, but I was also like, I want you to speak and I want you to talk. And it was really cool because during her presentation, she would talk a couple times about YouTube and how it blew her up and stuff like that. And then when the presentation was over, I wanted to interview her. But it was the end of like 4-day event. I was tired. I was nervous. I was like scared. Like, this is Lindsey Stirling and all things. So I did do an interview. The interview only lasted like 8 minutes. But in the 8-minute interview, I asked her a question about this specifically. And this is something that I think I want you to hear from her mouth because it was so cool. And so I'm not going to ruin the surprise, but I asked her about like, people saying that she's not good enough. And like if you watch America's Got Talent, like they literally told, like, what's his name? The English dude, not Simon Cowell, the other one. Anyway, he basically told her, he's like, you're not good enough. And like, and I was like, how did that make you feel? Like, what did you do because of it? And so this interview is really cool. Again, it's 8 minutes long. I asked a couple questions, but that's what I want you guys to listen to and to hear. And I want you to hear her response, because her response is insanely cool. And then after you get back from that, I'm going to read you this quote from the book, because this is the key I want you to take away. And if you understand this one little piece, it's like 3 paragraphs from Traffic Secrets. If you get this, it'll unlock everything. So you'll have the confidence you need. So you'll be able to go out there, to be able to find your voice, be able to change people's lives. So you will become good enough for the people you've been called to serve. And so that's kind of the hook after the interview. So with that said, I'm going to queue up this interview so you guys can watch with Lindsey Stirling. Again, it's about 8 minutes long, and I'm going to come back. I'm going to show you guys the number one secret, the biggest takeaway you need to have from this interview, and how you can apply it to grow your online business to huge, to the huge scale. It's going to be a lot of fun. And so that's the game time. That's the game plan. You guys ready for that? Okay, with that said, let's put our hands together for Lindsey Stirling. These are nice. You're welcome. Was that amazing or what?
Thank you.
What an awesome way to end out this extraordinary last 4 days together. It's fun because we were planning, as soon as Funnel Hacking Live ends, we start thinking like, what's the plans for next year? And so we were just talking about this, and I was like, man, I want something to end where we can just leave on like cloud 9. Everyone's got the energy and everything. And I was like, we should have a concert. And then we're like, well, we've never done that before. I don't know how that even works. And then, I don't know if you heard me talking about before, but we started talking about different names, who would be possible, and then we said your name, and everyone on my team was like, if Lindsey Stirling could come, that would be the most amazing thing ever. And you guys just experienced that, the most amazing thing ever? Like, it's so great.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. You guys are amazing, as I said. Thank you so much for your energy, and it sounds like it's been an amazing week.
It's been a lot of fun. Well, cool. I wanted to take a few minutes just to interview her, because we were actually going to try to do this earlier today, but we ran out of time, and so I wanted to do this just partially because I want you guys to connect with her more and be able to follow her more, and I'm going to talk a little about that towards the end, but also just to help so everyone understands like some of her journey, because her journey I think is very similar to a lot of your guys' journeys as well. So I think my first question is, where did you come up with such a unique thing? Like, there's people that do violin, there's people that do dance, but I've never heard of anyone besides you who did both. Like, how did you come up with that?
A funny fact, I guess, about me is a lot of people ask me, what came first, the violin or the dancing? And the thing is, I've played the violin my whole life. I started when I was 6. I did not start dancing until I was 23 years old, and I'm a self-taught dancer. And so it's very ironic that I've always loved dance, and I thought it was just such a beautiful art form, and I wanted to make my performance as a violinist more engaging than just, I always felt so stiff. And so I really started working on incorporating movement into my performances. But the funny thing was, I had this vision of being a dancing violinist, and I couldn't dance. And And so I think it's so important to whenever you are starting out on a venture or a journey, whether it's an artistic one or a business one, there are things that you're going to be like, but I don't know how to do that. How could I possibly be a dancing violinist if I don't know how to dance? Well, I started step by step by step in a very literal sense, teaching myself very simple choreography that just started with like a look and a wink and like a little shoulder, just very minimal movements. And now I can literally do back bends while I play, and I can spin, I can learn choreography, and it all was just step by step. And because I had such a clear vision, and I was so determined that sometimes the less you know in a way, the better it is. I don't think I realized how difficult it would be, and so I naively just went into it with everything I had and worked tirelessly until I could do it.
That's amazing. Very cool. So the next question is, before Crystallize blew up for you, and you're going through, and I'm sure you're practicing and doing things and videos and all sorts of stuff, and things weren't blowing up for you. First off, how long was that period of time? And second off, what was it that kept you going, moving forward during that time, as opposed to just throwing it in and walking away from it all?
Yeah, I probably started to pursue, and write my own music and, make this art of dancing and playing. And I probably worked at that for 2 years before I even discovered YouTube. And during that time, I had a lot of times that I kind of fell on my face, sometimes literally, sometimes just more, figuratively speaking. One of which was extremely public. It was in front of millions of people on America's Got Talent. My little artistic heart was absolutely broken on that show. I felt like my spirit was just broken. I was so devastated at what I thought this was going to be the biggest moment of my life and what changed everything. And I ended up getting absolutely publicly humiliated, and told in front of millions of people on live TV that I sounded like strangled rats when I played the violin. I was told that I didn't have what it took and I should try something else. I would never make it. And that was one of the hardest things to get over, because I was literally terrified to step on a stage again after that. I was like, I just don't know if I can face that kind of humiliation. It was in the back of my mind every time I would go to step on a stage of I am probably gonna fail. And so I took a little break from it just to regather my confidence again and to work on my craft. And I realized, I think the most important thing about that story, which took me years to realize, is that they told me, you're not good enough. And people now always are like, oh, America's Got Talent, they were so wrong about you. They missed this diamond in the rough. And looking back on it, no, they actually were right. I wasn't good enough, but the most important word was left out, and it's that I wasn't good enough yet. I had literally just invented this idea of dancing and playing a violin, and I hadn't put in the time yet. I wasn't good enough. But I just began, once I realized that I'm just not good enough yet. And I worked for the next year and a half honing my craft and getting good enough so that no one would ever be able to say that again and it wouldn't be true. And I also think there's this inner gut that guides you. And sometimes you get to a point, and I've done this in different ventures, where I realize this isn't a path that I should pursue anymore. I think this door is closed and it's time to go to a different one. But this door, I knew that it would open. I just felt it, and I just need to keep going, because that inner compass will never lead you astray. And to me, that's God. And you can call it whatever you want, whether it's the universe talking to you and guiding you, but I do believe there's something so much greater than ourselves that guides us, gives us inspiration, and gives us that courage to press forward.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Spinning.
I know these chairs. They're all spinning up here. So for those who want to know more about you, I know, back to my mom's down here, my mom in the middle, my mom's like, have you read her book yet? Will you tell them about your book? So if people want to learn more about you and your life and everything, I'd love for you to tell them about that, and we can have them all go buy the book tonight.
There you go. My book is called The Only Pirate at the Party. It's very thematic of a theme in my life, where it's based off a true story where I went to a birthday party that when I first moved to LA, and it was a Peter Pan themed birthday party, and I was really excited, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have a pirate costume. This is perfect. I'm going to make so many friends. And it was that Mean Girls moment where I walk into the party, and it was a regular party. Like, nobody was dressed up, and I was a full-blown pirate. And I was like I had the hat. I had like a tinfoil hook I made, so I was Captain Hook, and it was like, there was like a Tinkerbell cake. I was like the only thing that let you know maybe this was a themed party. And I remember there was that moment of like, no one's really seen me yet. No one really knows me. I could get in my car and I could go home and no one's the wiser. Or I could just own it and go into the freaking party and try to make some friends. And I decided to go in and make some friends and like kind of laugh about and I met a lot of people because I was the only pirate at the party. It was just such a like, you know what, this seems like it's a little bit of a theme of my life, and that's why the book has all these stories of, I mean, it's not like any of us walk through life trying to be like, I'm different, I'm the only pirate, you know, but I think we're all different. We are all so unique, and those are the things that make us wonderful. They're the things to be celebrated, the joys, the hardships, and it all leads into our story. And so that's what my book talks about. It talks about like my experiences going through an eating disorder and depression and America's Got Talent and all these like times when I hit the bottom and through my own gifts and uniqueness decided it's time to get back up again.
Awesome. So everyone go on Amazon and get that today. Awesome. All right. Wasn't she awesome? Lindsey Stirling, the only pirate at the party. But the thing I wanted to share the most from that story, hopefully you guys heard it, hopefully it impacted you, she said it. But it's just that feeling of like, I'm not good enough yet, right? I think every time that resistance is coming and hitting you guys saying, you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're not good enough. That's the thing you gotta come back saying, I'm not good enough yet, right? If you don't know, I keep talking about resistance. This is one of my favorite books of all time, The War of Art. If you guys have not read this is insanely good. Like break through the blocks and win your inner creative battles. I just interviewed Stephen Pressfield about this. I'll have to show you guys this interview here soon. But it's all about resistance. Like every time you try to do something great, resistance hits you and stops you. Like tries to keep you from doing the thing. So, and we all have that. So resistance is going to say you're not good enough, and you got to change it. You're not good enough yet. Okay, now here's the piece from Traffic Secrets I want to share with you. I found it. So if you have your Traffic Secrets book, you want to read along with me, grab Traffic Secrets, open up to page number 114, if you would indulge me for a moment. If you don't have Traffic Secrets yet, what are you waiting for? Come on. Again, this is part of my my book trilogy. So these are the 3 books I wrote. First one was .com Secrets. Second was Expert Secrets. There's Traffic Secrets. And it's kind of fun. Like .com Secrets was written because it was like, it was about the same time we launched ClickFunnels, so almost a decade ago. And it was like, I created this, Todd and I had created this software called ClickFunnels. No one knew how to use it. And I was like, we need a book to teach people how to use it. So this was like a decade of my life of me doing funnels for myself, turned into a book. It became kind of like we call it cult classic amongst the internet marketing friends. So that was my first book. And I swore I would never write a book again. And then 2 years later, I was like, all of our people know how to build funnels because .com Secrets book, but they're horrible at selling. So I wrote book number 2, which is Expert Secrets. It shows you how to find your message, how to like create an offer, how to actually create a presentation that'll get people to buy from you and to move with you, a bunch of other cool things. And then 2 years later, next book was Traffic Secrets, which was like how to get traffic into your funnel. So anyway, Traffic Secrets, this is what I wanted to read. It's on page 114 for those who are reading along. And in this chapter, it's all talking about like how to get found, how to build a following, stuff like that. And right here it says, okay, so step number 1, it says publish daily for at least a year. The first commitment that you have to make is that you will be consistent. I knew when I started that if I didn't find a platform that was easy for me and easy to create the content, I wouldn't be consistent. What platform makes the most sense for you? I kind of talk about how for me, when I first started publishing every single day, I was just doing a podcast. I still do podcasts. I've done like 1,000 episodes of my podcast, but I started because this would be something simple. Let's see. It goes on to say, what platform makes the most sense for you? So how and when are you going to publish? For you, are you going to wake up every morning and write a 1,000-word blog post? Are you going to do a Facebook Live every day? Are you going to do a podcast? Like, how are you going to do it? And then this is the quote I want to read from you. So it says, one of my friends, Nathan Barry, wrote a post recently called Endure Long Enough to Get Noticed. Okay? Endure long enough to get noticed. And then this is what the article said. How many great TV shows have you discovered in season 3 or later? He said, I started watching Game of Thrones after they'd released 5 seasons. Pat Flynn had released at least 100 episodes of his podcast before I even knew he existed. I discovered hardcore history years after Dan Carlin started producing it. This is such a common experience. There's so much content being produced that we can't possibly discover it all. So instead, we wait for the best content to float to the surface after time. If step one in building an audience is to create great content, step number 2 is to endure long enough to get noticed. Seth Godin is very generous with his time and will appear on almost any relevant podcast, but you have to record at least 100 episodes first. His filter is creators who have shown they are willing to show up consistently for a long time. Okay? And I go on and keep talking about this. So this is the secret, though. You have to endure long enough to get noticed. So for all you guys, if you have this thing in your head, it's like, I'm not good enough. Okay, the answer is you're not good enough yet. Now, how do you become good? Okay. Number one is you have to start publishing. You have to start putting yourself out there, right? For me, when I first started, it was a podcast. I was doing 3 or 4 podcasts every single day. For Nathan Barry, he started writing a blog post. He wrote 1,000-word blog posts every single day for an entire year. When we started building out ClickFunnels, it was Facebook Lives, Instagram, Periscope. I was going live every single day for multiple years, right? That's how we built our platform. We built our following. Okay. Now, what's interesting is that when you first start, and this is why people are always like, I don't know if I'm going to start or not. Because when you first start, you're not going to be any good. Right? It's like, I'm not very good. I don't want to start. And that's usually one excuse. Or the other excuse is like, well, I posted and nobody saw me. Okay. Now both these are good because the reality is when you first start posting, nobody's going to see you. Okay. But the good news is you kind of suck right now. So it doesn't matter. That's good. You don't want people to see you yet, right? You have to start doing this because a couple things are going to happen. Number one, if you keep consistently publishing over and over and over again, eventually you'll become good enough that when your dream clients find you, they'll actually care about you, right? And then number 2, you got to do it long enough that your dream customers could actually find you, okay? A good example of this, when I launched the Marketing in Your Car podcast way back in the day, we set it all up on the podcast feed reader. I don't know how all that stuff works. We put it on the podcast, and I would drive every day to work, and I'd hold my phone like this, and I would just, as I'm driving, I would be recording the podcast, right? And then my brother would take the audio, he'd upload it, and I had no idea if people were listening or they weren't listening. Like, I had no idea. And I'm grateful now that I didn't, because if I would have known how few people were listening in the beginning, I probably would have stopped within a week or two, right? But I kept going. And it wasn't until after we'd passed like, I think 250, 300 episodes before we decided to move it off whatever platform we had on something you could actually track stats. And we moved it over, we started looking at it, and we saw how many people were listening, and there was a lot of people listening. But prior to that, almost nobody was. And I remember Steve Larson, he came and started working for me after our second Funnel Hacking Live. And I remember he told me, he's like, man, I started binging through all your podcasts and every single episode. He's like, the first 35 or 40 episodes, he's like, you were not very good. And he's like, but about 45, 50-ish or so, he's like, you started getting into your rhythm and your groove. And he's like, now you're amazing, right? And I remember thinking about that. It comes back to this right here, endure long enough to get noticed. Number one, I have to keep doing it because it's going to make me become better at it, right? You don't wake up one day amazingly good, right? I showed you guys the video, was it 2 days ago of me on stage? I was not good at all. How did I get good? By doing it consistently over and over and over again. And I did it long enough that my audience was eventually able to find me. Okay, we just relaunched our YouTube channel. Every week we're posting a new YouTube video, right? And the amount of views is not huge, but I'm consistent. Right now it's every single week. We're about to move to twice a week and eventually 3 times a week, but we're consistent. Right now, this week I started Facebook Lives with you guys, right? This is now day number 4, consistently every single day. And every single day, watch, the viewers are growing. More people are showing up. It's going to continue to grow and to compound over time, right? But it's all coming down to you have to endure long enough to get noticed. That's how you become good, right? Because right now you're probably not good enough. But like Lindsey Stirling said, yet. And this is how you become good at your craft, at your art, is being willing to put yourself out there in things that are uncomfortable, that are awkward. Okay. And again, when you first put yourself out there, not very many people are going to see you, and that's okay. That's how it's supposed to be. But over time, you'll get better, and then your dream customers will have a chance to find you. Okay. So what I want to do today, I want you guys all to commit to actually starting publishing something. I don't care where you publish. Some of you guys may be bloggers, so go create your ClickFunnels account and start blogging. ClickFunnels blog is amazing. The blogging feature now, SEO optimized. We had some SEO guys here yesterday, and they're like, the SEO with ClickFunnels page is amazing right now. I'm like, I know, the team's killing it. The pages are getting ranked. It's really, really good. So if you want to start a blog, go to ClickFunnels, set up a blog, and boom, you start blogging. Go. If you're like, I don't want to do a blog because I hate writing, but I like audio, start a podcast. It's so simple to start a podcast today. It's the easiest thing in the world, right? If you don't want to do a podcast, maybe you want to do Instagram or YouTube or Facebook. Pick a platform, just one. I don't care which one it is. Pick one and then start doing it. And what's going to happen over time, you're going to find your voice. And if you keep doing it after you find your voice, then your audience will find you. You've got to endure long enough to get noticed. That's how you go from I'm not good enough to I wasn't good enough yet, but now I am, right? And as you do that, your people will hear you and they will find you, and it'll be awesome. So anyway, that's one tip from Traffic Secrets book that I want to share with you today. If you haven't read the book, you should read it all. In fact, you should go buy the whole series because then you'll have access to everything that I've ever learned in my brain, and I can give it to you on a silver platter. But anyway, that's what I want to share with you guys today. I have some really cool stuff coming up. tomorrow I'm hoping to drop some bombs on you guys, which will be really cool. These are some ClickFunnels bombs that are insane. I think I told you guys yesterday, we did a big demo for the internal ClickFunnels team yesterday, and people were melting down. Like our entire team, everyone's like, I can't believe you can do this in ClickFunnels now. So as long as everything goes well, we're moving these things out of beta into well, it'll still be in beta, but like a full beta, I think today or tomorrow. So you'll see some really cool things, and hopefully tomorrow I'll talk about it. If not, it might be Monday. And then next week, I got some really cool things we're gonna be going deep into, specifically around expert secret stuff, like creating your presentation, creating new opportunities, creating offers, and all that kind of stuff. I'm thinking about doing I'm having fun hanging out like this. I kind of want to do a longer form, like maybe like a 2 or 3 hour thing next week where you just have a chance to hang out and I can like teach like going deep and stuff. Who here would be interested in like doing a deep dive next week with me on like how to create something that you can like how to create a presentation and an offer that'll make you give you the ability to write your own paycheck for the rest of your life? How many of you guys want to do something like that? Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think that'd be fun. So I don't know when that's gonna happen yet. I'm kind of playing with an idea in my head, but I think next week, somewhere in the week, I'm going to do like a longer form one. But I'm going to keep doing these live ones for 30 minutes every single day. I'm about my 30-minute limit for today, so I'm going to let you guys go here in a second. But anyway, just grateful for you guys hanging out. And I'm practicing what I preach. I told people for years, you got to publish every single day, and I did. And I still do. I publish a lot, but I wanted specifically on this platform. Like I have my podcast, we have YouTube, we have Instagram, we have places we're publishing, but haven't been faithful here, like in Facebook. So right now, this is being streamed. It's also going to Instagram. What's up, Instagram? It's going to Instagram Live, but for the most part, I'm going to the ClickFunnels Facebook groups, going to my fan page, which I know they're not called fan pages anymore, but I'm old school, so I still call it a fan page. So Russell runs a fan page, and it's going to my personal page. And so I'm streaming right now, and I'm just going to keep doing this for as long as I'm able to. Because I just want to share this stuff with you guys and just reconnect. If like I've been distant over the last couple of years, I just want to hang out with you guys again and share and give and serve and hopefully win your trust and win you guys over to ClickFunnels to use the platform. So anyway, I think that's all I got today. Oh, last thing. Again, tomorrow we're going live. I'm hoping to do a huge feature announcement tomorrow. Cross my fingers. If not, I'll have something else in store that'll be amazing. And then next week, like I said, we're going to go deep into getting you guys creating offers and selling them because that's the business. Create an offer, sell it. Create an offer, sell it. Create an offer, sell it. And if you get better at selling it, you make more money and all those kind of things. So next week, I'm going to go deeper into that kind of stuff. And potentially we're going to do a longer, 2 or 3 hour live where I have a chance to actually teach like a whole framework and go deep with you guys and all kind of stuff. So anyway, that's the working plan as of right now. To make sure you don't miss it though, you gotta get on the texting list. So what I'm doing now is I'm gonna drop the video. It's gonna show you the texting list. There's a number, all you gotta do is text it. And that way you'll get a text from me about 2 minutes before we go live every single time. And that way you can jump on and make sure you don't miss any of the lives. Which will be a lot of fun. And so that's kind of the game plan. So I'm gonna drop that number right now. Also, as you guys know, I'm gonna be picking 5 people on the texting list. And we're gonna take them on, bring them to Boise and do a full day consult with them where we're reworking your offers and your funnels, and it'll be a lot of fun. So that's kind of the bribe to get you on the text list. So if you're not on the text list now is the time. I'm gonna cue up the video right now to give you info to it. And that's kind of the game plan. Anyway, I appreciate you guys for hanging out today. If you missed any of the past ones, go back to my Facebook page and go look at the last 3 or 4. This is day number 4 going live every day. And there's some cool stuff we shared last time. By the way, thank you guys everyone who made nude squirrel pictures through Midjourney. I went to the Facebook group and there's like 50 of you guys who made nude squirrel pictures, which was amazing. So thank you for those. If you did make a nude squirrel picture, if you go to the Facebook group, the ClickFunnels Facebook group, you type in Facebook, look for ClickFunnels Officials, the Facebook group in there. Go drop your nude squirrel pictures. We're kind of putting them all together, which is a lot of fun. And if you don't know what I'm talking about with nude squirrels, again, go back and check out the video from yesterday. So with that said, you guys, appreciate you all. I'm queuing up the video now. It's the text message. Text me right now. Get on the text list. We'll hang out tomorrow. Hopefully we have a big feature announcement that's going to blow your mind. And I appreciate you guys being here today. Don't forget, you're not good enough yet, but if you publish every single day, you'll get good enough. You'll have a chance by doing that to find your voice. And by doing that, your people have a chance to find you. And that's the key to winning this game. Thanks so much, you guys. And we'll see y'all tomorrow. Russell Brunson, and I am kind of freaking out right now. I'm so excited. I just got a brand new phone. This is called my Funnel Hacker phone. And in this phone, I'm actually setting up a private community where I have a chance to text with my funnel hackers, with people like you about entrepreneurship and business and personal development and all the fun things that we love to talk about. And inside of this phone, I've been sending cool stuff that I don't send anywhere else except for people in my text texting community, and I want to invite you to be part of it. Now, a couple things. Number one, the first thing I need you to do is grab your phone right now, and I want you to actually text me, okay? The phone number is 208-231-3797. I'll probably have it above or below or somewhere, but the number again is 208-231-3797. Text me right now. Text me, hey, text me, what's up, whatever you want to do, and that's the first step. The second step is my goal is I want to get 50,000 entrepreneurs and business owners and funnel hackers on my phone here in the next, before the end of the year. So that's my goal and my game plan, and I need your help. If you will help me to get 50,000 people on here, I'm going to invite 5 of you to come here and fly to my office. We're going to hang out, and I'm going to spend a day with you coaching you on your business. The first half of the day, I'm going to sit down with you. I'm going to brainstorm your funnels, your structure, your offer, all that kind of stuff. And then I'm going to have my top copywriter help you with your copy, our funnel builders, our designers. We're all going to come and tag team and spend a day with 5 of you here in the office. It's going to be so much fun. So that's the prize. That's the reward. The way you can win that reward is, number one, you have to text me. If you haven't texted me yet, you are not eligible to be part of this. I need you to text me so you can be part of my texting community, okay? Again, the number is 208-231-3797. I'm going to memorize that number, but as of right now, it is 208-231-3797. Text me. That's number one. Number two is every single time you help me to share this message, you get a vote. That means if you like the video down below, you get an extra vote. If you comment down below, you get an extra vote. You share this video, you get an extra vote, okay? And if you comment again, you get another extra vote, okay? At the end of this, after we have 50,000 people who are on my texting platform, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick 5 of you guys to come to our offices here in Boise. We're going to spend a day going deep into your funnels, your business. It's going to be so much fun. You work with me, my copywriters, my designers, my funnel builders, and we're going to get your business up and launched live. This is a free gift for 5 of you guys. So again, the way to win, text me. Stop everything you're doing. Pause this. Text me. 208-231-3797. So what do you got to do right now? You know what to do. Text me.